Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Maria and I make personal development content here on YouTube. And so in today's video, I wanted to come on here and talk about how you can use your emotions to your advantage. And I really wanted to really speak about this on both sides of emotions because I think a lot of times we focus a lot on the negative emotions and we don't really pay much attention to the positive emotions, which can actually show us a lot more about ourselves. And so I think what it first starts with when it comes to using your emotions to your advantage is looking at it in a holistic type of view, not just of the negative emotions on what they're saying to you, but also those positive emotions and what they're saying to you, because you want to really get to know yourself on a deeper level. And the only way that you can really get to know yourself on a deeper level is paying attention to all aspects of you. You can't ignore the one side and then want to pay more attention to the other side because both sides are showing you something. So, first and foremost, when it comes to emotions, our emotions are showing us and they're triggering something to us. Every interaction that we have, every TV show that we watch, every song that we listen to, every coworker that we come in contact with, every person that we come in contact with on the street, all of those interactions are interactions that are showing us and triggering something to us because our emotions are into them. Even when it comes down to me making this video right now, like the emotions that I get from making these videos is so much joy because this is my true passion, this is my true calling, this is my purpose. Like God has his hands all in this. And so when it comes to that though, it is something that I have to pay attention to. And I think a lot of times we don't pay attention to it. Like we just kind of go throughout life, we go throughout our days, and we don't really pay attention to our emotions. Our emotions are just kind of like things that we experience. It's just something just as habitual as like brushing our teeth each day or getting in the shower each day. It's not something that like we really spend time with and sit with and pay attention to. And it's an important part of our personal development and our emotional development, but yet we really don't sit with them enough. And so when it comes to this, when it comes to how to use your emotions to your advantage, first I'm going to talk about the negative emotions, and then I'm going to go on to talk about how the positive emotions, you can use those to your advantage. So first with the negative emotions, and I really want to say that in like quotations because all emotions are good emotions because they're showing you something. But the perceived negative emotions, and they're honestly perceived as negative because probably in your childhood, certain emotions were just like ignored, or they kind of told you to calm down, or you may not have gotten much of a response to those negative emotions. So now you have put them in your mind as a negative emotion. But the negative emotions are things like feeling sad, things like feeling angry, things like feeling frustrated or irritated, or all those negative emotions. Those things are triggering to you that there's a need not being met. So, if you find yourself like getting irritated with your partner, or getting irritated with like your parent, or getting irritated with like your job or something like that, it's because something is triggering to you that you are not okay with this situation, and that there is an area of you that you need to dive deeper into. And until you choose to dive deeper into that area and dive deeper into that emotion, you're going to continue to experience that emotion, right? So I think sometimes we think like, oh, I'm just tired. Like I'm sorry, I'm just tired. That's why I'm irritated, all these things. And yes, that may be true. Like a lack of sleep can definitely cause irritation. But now you got to figure out like, even if you have a lack of sleep and that's causing you irritation, why is that particular thing causing you irritation versus something else, because still it may be showing you that you really don't like whatever that person is doing, or you don't like what you're experiencing in this moment. But like when you get better sleep, you're usually able to tolerate it a little better. You're usually able to kind of ignore it. And so that's still triggering to you that your needs are not being met, because you just typically ignore it because you've gotten enough sleep and it doesn't bother you as much. But it's still showing you in that moment that, yeah, this is something that really gets on my nerves, and it's something that really bothers me, and I need to speak up about this. So that's the part of the negative emotions that we really have to pay attention to, because these emotions are showing us something, right? But then on the other side, you have those positive emotions, which are, happy, joyful. Those are the emotions that like you may have gotten more attention from because they were positive emotions. Like they were not something that was overwhelming to someone who probably couldn't deal with the negative emotions because it caused them too much shame or too much guilt to be around someone that had negative emotions. But when it comes to the positive emotions, you want to pay attention to those too, because they're showing you, oh, you really love this thing. You really enjoy this thing. Like for me, I used to love, and I still do love, reading like books, like self-help books. Like when I was younger, I could not stand to read. Like I could not stand to read. And for the longest time, like I thought I just like reading was boring, like not interested in reading, blah. But then I started diving into books that I actually liked to read. And then that's when I realized, no, it's not that I don't like reading. I just don't like reading certain type of books, because the books that I actually enjoy reading, they come to me effortlessly. I can sit down and I can read, and I can keep reading. I can keep reading. I can keep reading. So it's all about paying attention to what makes me happy. Like, why did that thing make me happy? And it triggered to me that I have a passion for helping people. I have a passion for spending my time and my days. It brings me true fulfillment. And it brings me fulfillment because it allows me to live in the purpose that God has set out for me. And those positive emotions, we have to pay attention to them too, because they're showing us something about ourselves. They're showing us that maybe you should take this path, right? Maybe you have been fighting against and warring against taking this path for a long time, and this was always what the path that God had set out for you anyways. So that's like, for my example, like I had to start paying attention to, okay, what's really bringing me fulfillment? And then why is this bringing me fulfillment? Like, what does this do for me? And when I started looking at the negative emotions and the positive emotions, that's when I started to be able to use my emotions to my advantage holistically in my life in general, in different areas of my life. So when it comes to working out, I absolutely cannot stand working out. And I think for me, when it comes to working out, I get like annoyed, but then I also feel like great afterwards, because like I feel like, okay, good, like I just worked on myself, like I just worked on my physique and all these things. So I pay attention to those negative emotions and figure out, okay, the reason why I don't like working out is just because like I just don't care for it. Like it's just like the why put myself through like the pain and the straining and all those things. Like this is just not my thing. Like I just don't I just don't like having to purposely inflict physical pain on myself. Like I just think it's just like bizarre. But like then I also go ahead and I keep going, because I'm like, okay, even though that's the negative emotion I have behind it, it's still going to bring a positive emotion in the end. And the positive emotion is, okay, I feel great about myself afterwards. And so it's not about ignoring either one of those emotions. It's not about disregarding those emotions and just saying, well, I only always want to feel this emotion, or I only always want to feel this emotion. No, you want to feel both emotions. You want to pay attention to what both emotions and all emotions are saying to you. But sometimes those negative emotions or those positive emotions, you still got to keep going in those moments because they are able to holistically bring you together and make you a better person and grow you. So the negative emotion that I feel about working out, yeah, I don't care for it, but it's going to bring me positive growth. So I'm going to go ahead and just say, all right, let me still do this anyways. And so, but I still pay attention to why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. So if I would have delved deeper into the reason why I don't want to work out and don't want to go to the gym, and if it was for a reason like other than just me not wanting to do the physical part, but it was like a really much deeper reasoning, then I would have to step on that and step into that and pay attention to that and give that more of my attention. But when we take the time to actually pay attention to our emotions and figure out why we're feeling the way we're feeling, that is how we start to use our emotions to our advantage. So that's really it for me. I hope this was helpful for you. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check this description box down below. I have some links there for you as well. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.